My family has always been complicated, but things took a turn for the worse after my grandmother passed away. She was the glue that held us together, and without her, all the underlying tensions and resentments came boiling to the surface. I'm 32, and I have two siblings, a brother who's 35 and a sister who's 28. We all grew up in a big house that my grandparents bought back in the 70s, and it's been the center of our family drama ever since. My grandmother left the house to all three of us in her will, but with one condition: we had to keep it in the family for at least 10 years before we could sell it. She also left us each a substantial amount of money, $200,000 to be exact, and a trust fund that would pay out $50,000 per year for the next 20 years. Sounds like a great deal, right? But here's the thing: my brother, who's always been a bit of a screw-up, has been trying to find ways to get his hands on the money as quickly as possible. He's been pushing for us to sell the house and split the profits, claiming that we could get at least $1.2 million for it. But I'm not convinced that's a good idea. For one thing, the housing market in our area is still recovering from the crash, and I don't think we'd get nearly that much. Plus, the house has a lot of sentimental value. It's where we grew up, and it's where my grandmother lived for most of her life. I don't want to see it sold to some stranger who's just going to flip it for a profit. My sister, on the other hand, is trying to stay out of it. She's always been a bit of a peacemaker, and she doesn't want to take sides. But my brother is getting increasingly aggressive, sending us emails and texts demanding that we agree to sell the house. He's even hired a lawyer to try to convince us that we're obligated to sell, claiming that the trust fund is somehow tied to the sale of the house. I've done my research, and I know that's not true. The trust fund is a separate entity that's not contingent on the sale of the house. The tension between us has been building for months, and it finally came to a head last weekend when we all met up at the house to discuss the situation. My brother showed up with his lawyer in tow, and they presented us with a proposal to sell the house to a developer for $1 million. I was shocked. I had no idea he was planning to bring in a third party. I told him that I wasn't interested in selling, and that I thought we should focus on finding a way to keep the house in the family. That's when things started to get ugly. My brother accused me of being selfish and only looking out for my own interests. He claimed that I was trying to sabotage the sale of the house so that I could keep all the money for myself. I was taken aback. I had no idea he thought that about me. I tried to explain that I just wanted to do what was best for our family, but he wouldn't listen. The argument ended with my brother storming out of the house, threatening to take us to court to force the sale. I'm not sure what's going to happen next, but I'm prepared to fight for what I believe in. I've already talked to a lawyer, and I know that I have a strong case. The will is clear: we can't sell the house for at least 10 years, and the trust fund is separate from the house. I'm just tired of all the drama and stress that my brother is causing. I wish he would just calm down and think about what's best for our family, rather than just trying to get his hands on as much money as possible. I know that my grandmother would be disappointed in the way we're behaving, and that's what hurts the most. We're supposed to be a family, not enemies. As I'm writing this, I'm sitting in the house, feeling a mix of emotions. I'm sad that things have gotten to this point, but I'm also determined to do what I think is right. I know that I'll have to deal with the consequences of my brother's actions, but I'm prepared to fight for what I believe in. I just hope that someday we can all come together and be a family again, without all the drama and stress. I've been doing some research and I found out that if we sell the house, we'll have to pay around $200,000 in taxes, which would leave us with around $800,000 to split between the three of us. That's around $266,000 each, which is still a significant amount of money. But like I said, I'm not convinced that selling the house is the right thing to do. I think we should focus on finding a way to keep it in the family, even if it means that we have to get creative with the finances. I've also been thinking about the emotional value of the house, and how much it would mean to me to keep it in the family. I know that my brother is only thinking about the money, but I think that's short-sighted. The house is a part of our family's history, and I don't want to see it sold to some stranger who doesn't care about that. I'm not sure what the future holds, but I'm prepared to fight for what I believe in. I know that it won't be easy, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes to keep the house in the family. I just hope that my brother will come to his senses and realize that there's more to life than just money. The other day, I received an email from my brother's lawyer, stating that they're going to take us to court to force the sale of the house. I'm not surprised, but I'm still disappointed. I thought that we could resolve this like adults, but I guess that's not possible. I've already talked to my lawyer, and we're preparing for the court case. I'm confident that we'll win, but I'm still worried about the emotional toll that this is going to take on all of us. I just wish that my brother would understand that this isn't just about the money. It's about our family's history and our grandmother's legacy. I know that she would be disappointed in the way we're behaving, and that's what hurts the most. I hope that someday we can all come together and be a family again, without all the drama and stress. But for now, I'm just going to focus on fighting for what I believe in, and hoping that justice will prevail.